Oh man, so a crazy day of crypto trading. We've now got Bitcoin flipping its way up 1%. You've got Fantom down almost 2%, but Fantom is winding up for its next huge move, which I'm going to share with you. We're also going to look at a bunch of fundamental updates on why we're still continue to be bullish here on Fantom, and also Kwon over at Luna has managed to do it again. Yes, we're going to cover off the latest updates on Terra 2.0. The saga continues. Right, let's get straight into the charts. And as you can see here on Bitcoin, I took myself a little bit of a trade. As I told you guys, I was playing around with some trading. You can see we're in this bull flag, which I updated you guys a little bit earlier. We had a fake out to the bottom side. When the S&P markets opened up, we covered that, right? And we re-established our correlation to the equities markets. Equities markets opened up as Bitcoin was trying to break out here. You got a fake out, came straight back all the way down through the bottom of the channel here. And then as the S&P started to recover, Bitcoin recovered with it. If we head on over now to look at the markets, you can see that they're trying to close out green. Dow Jones pretty flat here, 0.1% on the S&P and 0.4 on the Nasdaq. And it's been a crazy month here for the equity markets and obviously Bitcoin here as well. So this is a nice little trade you can take. As you can see, what tends to happen when you get a breakout from these kind of patterns is you wait for a retest, as you can see, and then you can start working your way to your price target. Remember, when you play such a trade, have your stop loss. Ensure that you've got your risk management such that you're at least 3-to-1 to the top side, right? The potential gain here from this move is at least 3 times the move from the bottom side. You've got your measured move as well, and then you can place that trade. If you guys want to trade, head on over to PRIMEXBT, links in the description. You can trade Fantom, you can trade Bitcoin, all the most popular pairs, as well as some Forex as well. If you guys want to trade, you're going to get up to a $7,000 bonus if you use my code Ijaz when you deposit. So make sure you deposit, activate that bonus, and you can trade just with that bonus without touching your original fund. So that's Bitcoin playing itself out quite nicely on the day, turning itself green, and now we need to see if all coins will follow it green over the next period here. But more importantly, I want to cover off Fantom, because Fantom sitting here on the hourly chart is really starting to wind up into an apex, and we're going to get a decision now any minute now. Well, not any minute, but I'm going to tell you exactly when we're going to get a decision. Let me just take this and you can measure the move, and roughly we've got about a day and a half, maybe 2 days max before we get to the apex, and Fantom needs to decide which direction is it going to head. Remember, if we break to the downside on this pattern, you have price targets coming in at, let me just share this with you so you can see the price axes. Let me this. There we go. So you have that coming in at the downside. Your first pivot point will become 30 cents on Fantom, and then the bottom of the wedge takes you all the way back down to 24. Now remember, for this scenario to play out, Bitcoin will have to play out the negative scenario, have to fall back down towards 30,000. That's your bearish scenario here to the downside. Now, the positive scenario is if we can work our way to the top of the wedge, you'll be looking for a breakout of the first pivot point here, would take you to 52 cents, and then you quickly want to get yourself back to this important support level at 58. So a lot of opportunities there to have this move on the breakout. Now, remember, when you want to trade a breakout, you want to wait for the breakout to happen. You want to wait to see if there's a retest, and then you want to see if it does something like this, okay? So ensure you don't just jump in and fall for something like a fake out, which does this. That happens a lot in crypto, where you get fake outs to trigger everybody's stop losses before moving in the opposite direction. Okay, again, if you want to trade this PRIMEXBT, you can head on over into the onto the platform. You can head on over into Fantom, choose Fantom, and you guys can trade it here on PRIMEXBT using your $7,000 bonus. Cool. So that's the one I'm looking at right now in Fantom. But let's focus on some of the fundamentals, right? What are the updates? But before I get into that, I do want us to focus on how did we get to these kind of cheap prices right here. We know the overall market has been falling. We know it's been a very bad time. But on top of this, let's not forget the journey which we've been on here on Fantom. We had the wrecked hit piece, right, which got debunked. We had Andre Cronje suddenly leaving and causing a lot of trouble in that period, right, just upping and leaving a bunch of projects. We had Roosh, one of the biggest whale liquidation wallets, which we covered off, right? We had a lot of drama going on, which helped propel us into this bleed on the way to the downside. But all of these things have now been resolved, right? We can see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel, which makes you think, hang on a second, all of this quick falling, we should be able to recover this quite quickly when we start rotating back to the upside. Now, I just want to focus on a few important things. I mean, the first important thing is that wallet activity continues to remain healthy. right? If you look at it, we're sitting here. We've added another 4,500 wallets as of yesterday, sitting at 3.1 million. This is healthy. There's no sign of this suddenly taking a tank and no new wallets are being created on Fantom. The SnapSync upgrade has been incredible, right? If we head on over into Fantom, just to take a look at the gas fees and refresh here, you'll see these are almost nothing. And I've seen these, depending on the time of the day, right? Depending on how busy the gas fees are, we've seen some of these readings super low. So you're looking here, I mean, even this is super low, but I've seen lower than this. I've seen it up to like 13 gwei, 8 gwei, 5 gwei for slow transactions as well, which is almost non-existent. I mean, even at this point here, that's even at the fastest speed, it's non-existent and just makes Fantom a dream platform to use for anybody who's using stuff day to day. For the real use cases, it makes it a dream to use, okay? So we've seen Snapgate really be implemented without any difficulties, without any downtime, and really just work so seamlessly, which should give you a lot of confidence in the team and what they're working on from a technological point of view. The next thing we saw is now payments now accept donations in Fantom, which means a bunch of Twitch creators can now be donated to in their live streams using Fantom. What a beautiful way to increase the number of use cases here for Fantom. Again, I tweeted that out as well. You can now make Twitch donations using Fantom thanks to Now Payments. Go ahead and give this a retweet if you're not following me at RealIjaz1 on Twitter. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to spend some time talking about was Fantom's big upgrade from EVM to Fantom Virtual Machine. And I thought Stader did a really good job of putting a thread together. It's a slightly older thread, but just to make you guys understand what's going on, let's rattle through this thread here together. FVM is going to be one of the biggest upgrades to Fantom. In this thread, we'll cover what are the limitations of the Ethereum Virtual Machine, how Fantom Foundation is solving them. Okay, now EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. Yes, we know when a blockchain is EVM compatible, dApps from Ethereum can quite literally be moved to that chain with a few minor tweaks. For instance, famous dApps like Curve Finance and SushiSwap have been ported over to Fantom from Ethereum, but there are certain issues with EVM that limit performance. Now, the first things first, guys, Fantom owes a lot of its success to being EVM compatible. That's one of the reasons it did so well, right? Because all you had was you were able to port all of these apps across onto Fantom, which has far superior speed and less gas costs, like we shared with you, and people could use their favorite apps on the Fantom blockchain. So it really did benefit a lot from EVM. But the issue is it doesn't allow Fantom to move forward. So let's come on to it. An EVM has to process several diverse operations, which makes it really slow and has limited output. And this dramatically affects the overall network efficiency. For instance, Ethereum settles only at 18 transactions per second using the EVM. Similarly, the other layer ones are able to do only a few thousand at best using EVM middleware. Also, the EVM hasn't evolved much from its initial specification. This is why the tools and language supported required for writing contracts are extremely limited, and this becomes a bottleneck for development. So to summarize this, guys, imagine you're Fantom and you've got all this great technology, you want to keep growing and keep scaling and making your network even better, but you're limited by this kind of archaic technology in EVM. That's frustrating for you as a layer 1 blockchain. You want to go ahead and build at your own pace and utilize all the technological advancements that you have. So to improve the performance and security of smart contracts, the Fantom Foundation is coming up with its new virtual machine called FVM. The Fantom Foundation is working alongside the University of Sydney and Yonsei University. According to Professor Bernard Scholz, who is joining the Fantom Foundation as the Chief Research Officer for the project, and who, as per Andre Cronje, is one of the forefathers of programming languages. Remember, guys, we covered this off when the chap was joining as Chief Research Officer back in March 21. I remember making a video on this. Fantom is proud to announce Bernard Scholz would join as the Chief Research Officer. This guy is one of the godfathers in the industry. I mean, somebody like Andre Cronje looks up to him and almost owes a lot of his success to him as well. So definitely somebody you want involved in a project like Fantom. Let's carry on with this. Fragmented upgrades of the virtual machine will be rolling out from Q2 of this year. Okay, so we're already in Q2, coming towards the end of Q2. It'll be good to get an update on how long. If you want to watch that and you want to hear what Michael Kwon has to say, I'll link it up here somewhere so you guys can go watch my full interview with the CEO of Fantom, Michael Kwon. So here's some high-level features that FVM will have. Compatibility with Solidity programming language. Remember, this is the main programming language from Ethereum, and it means those dApps can easily be ported over across to FVM because you don't want to lose that quality. You still want good apps on Ethereum to easily be ported over, so it's important that it's compatible with the programming language, which is Solidity. parallel processing to increase throughput and transaction finality, bytecode compressed. This will make storing data more efficient. Since the upgrade will make Fantom faster and improve smart contract security and performance, the network will likely attract new users, dev activity, and institutional investors. So there you have it, guys. Another positive for why we need to be looking at Fantom. So then when you come back and you look at the price point here and you go onto the daily chart, get yourself a clean chart, and you sit here and go, hang on a second, look how far retraced this is. And you can easily look at the Fibonacci ratio and say, for it just to retrace back to $2.30, $2.40, is arguably a very comfortable move here for Fantom once Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market and stock market starts to rally and you see that greed start to come back into the market. So a really good risk to reward investment here on Fantom, and I continue to hold my position in Fantom and continue to look for opportunities to dollar cost average in. Again, I don't want to make my Fantom position too large. Very important. Just because I talk about Fantom a lot, it does not mean it's a huge part of my portfolio. It's a small part of the layer one section of my portfolio. I hold a lot of different layer ones, which I like, and Fantom is one of those. Not over allocated. If it died tomorrow, my portfolio will be okay, but it doesn't mean I do not like the project or I don't have conviction. That's just how you guys should invest. Is you should not be solely involved with any single project that could wipe you out. You should be good to go even if any of these projects are wiped out. In fact, even if the whole of crypto, I dare say it, was to get wiped out in some sort of crazy 200 million Sigma event, you guys should still be good to feed your family and yourselves. That's really important, and that's the priority here. Okay, now let's come back on to Luna, because Do Kwon, our good old friend Do Kwon, is at it again, shortchanging our Luna family. Like, what are you doing, Do? Attention, Luna airdrop recipients. We are aware that some have received less Luna from the airdrop than expected and are actively working on a solution. More information will be provided when we have gathered all of the data, so stay tuned. It's not good, right? I had a lot of messages from people in the Discord, on Twitter, in Telegram saying, hang on, guys, what is going on here? I've not received all my airdrops. I've not received mine. I've not received mine. Well, there you go, guys. It's a known issue now. At least Terra have owned up to it. And hopefully they can resolve this. This is not good. You're already giving people a miserly amount of your new Luna token because you're too busy giving it to the old dApp developers who you screwed over in the last project. But please, 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 if you've promised them something, deliver on it. Don't do that again. So hopefully we see this recovered and tweeted out that everybody's received what they were owed very soon. Now, from a trading perspective, Luna, which again I mentioned, I would not touch this as an investment with a barge pole, but I'm in for a quick trade. If it's on the 10-minute chart, I'm on the 15-minute chart here, and I showed you guys you could have made 85% trading this up here. Please, guys, super high risk. As you know, I'm not leverage trading. I'm spot trading, so I'm not in any crazy risk. I'll play with a little bit of money, and I'll trade these patterns based on what I see. So as you can see, we traded the breakout from here, had a good move to the upside. Now we're forming a bit of a consolidation pattern. So the question now will be for Luna here, will it come back down to the bottom of the wedge here before then going back to the top, or will it break out straight from here? Okay, that's what we need to look out for here on Luna. And guys, if you want to trade this over on OKX, you can use my link in the description. Get yourself set up. Really nice platform. Uses the trading view charts as well. So you can go ahead, use this to trade the new Luna. It's got it there on spot. Just make sure when you're trading, you're using the right one. Okay, so here on OKX, you've got Luna, which is sitting at $9.16. That's the new 2.01. And Lun C is Terra Luna Classic, sitting at 0.0000. So don't get confused. I know different exchanges are confusing you. OKX has been pretty transparent and nicely clear with the banner here. Please make sure you don't get the wrong one, which is very respectable of OKX. And again, do not invest in this. That's my advice, right? I would not invest in something like Terra 2.0 unless something fundamentally changes, which I can't see what Do Kwon could do to make me believe in him ever again. But definitely on the short term, if you want to practice trading, if you want to practice putting in stop loss, take profits, all that stuff, and it's a tiny, tiny bit of your portfolio, go ahead and play till your heart is content. Right, guys, so there you have it. Crazy markets, volatile market. Bitcoin now trying to close the US day in the green today, up 1%. Altcoins haven't quite followed it today. Cardano was the outstanding winner today. If you haven't watched my video on Cardano, I'm going to link that up at the end of this video, so go watch that. It's not something you should be sleeping on. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.